Do you want to learn to loot like a pro? Well, friends, my name is Rengawr. Welcome to another Escape from Tarkov guide. Today we're going to be talking about looting. Now, this was heavily requested back when I was farming for level 71, playing labs, always farming raiders, looting them, etc. I got all questions about how to loot. So we're going to work on how to loot, and we'll do this from the ground up so you can be fast and efficient. This will be for the new and the experienced player. We'll talk about how to keep yourself safe while looting. We'll talk about looting hotkeys, bag stacking. We'll be talking about how to use rigs to make more space, to make more room in your bags, pretty much. How to become more efficient while looting, do it quick. And we'll talk about pre-looting, which we'll get into later on, which is a more advanced form of looting, guys. Hope you enjoy, and let's jump right in. So before I get into the guide itself and all the tips, I wanted to just talk about how looting in Tarkov works for anyone that's brand new to the game. If you understand how to search items and stuff, you can just skip to the next section. But if you're new here, definitely whenever you go up to a body, you have to press F to search it. Now, every single part of armor and guns is already ready for you to see. It might be unexamined. If you have to examine something, you press middle mouse button to examine it. But if you have to actually check attack rig or pockets or backpack, anything where you store loot is unsearched for you. So you get the left click on either the unsearched area or the search. You left click and it'll start searching. After a brief period, it'll show you everything that's inside of it. So that's all you have to do for every single thing. You have to do it for tactical rig, pockets, and backpack every time you loot somebody. So we'll learn more about how you should do that later on, but now you at least understand the mechanics of looting in Tarkov, so you're free to drag any gun over or armor instantly. You might have to examine it to actually put it on, but for rigs and pockets and bag, you have to search those by clicking on the slot right there. So this section itself is kind of more catered to newer players. We're going to be talking about how to survive while looting. A lot of newer players put themselves in positions or make mistakes to where they get themselves killed while looting, and I'll show you what I mean. So the biggest mistake that I'll see is, let's say you peek an angle and you kill a guy right here, and a lot of new players will just walk up and instantly start looting the body. They don't clear the surroundings. If you're familiar with survival games with Tarkov, you know most players will end up clearing an area like down here first, making sure there's no teammates down here, and then there is no teammates hiding back here. And once we clear that out, then we know that we can go loot this body. It's very straightforward and very simple, but you have to understand that if you dive on a body or you instantly start looting and there's a second guy that's going to come peek you while you're looting, you're going to die. And if you die, like, you don't get to keep the loot. It's straightforward, but like, if you let yourself die while looting, you're going to be really upset because you lost all that loot for no reason. So always make sure you're clearing out the area before you loot. Now, something else we could talk about is looting in the open and like getting cover while looting. So, for example, whenever you're looting a body, I'd always recommend either crouching or proning if you don't really have cover, because proning will make you less visible to enemies and you will like not be standing tall up. You won't be a free headshot. You'll be a little bit harder to hit. And then if you're crouching, it's the same idea where your hitbox is smaller, you're hunched over, it's harder for people to hit you. So definitely make sure you're crouching or proning while looting, and always clear the area, because when there's one, there's two. Now, when it comes to looting in the open, new players also make this issue where, like, let's say there's a body like right here, right? Sometimes people will just like stand here and loot the body in this doorway, but whenever a body's near a doorway, you actually can just close the door and search it through like the closed door. So now like the door occludes me from my enemies, so I don't have to worry about someone like walking around an angle and seeing me looting. So whenever you can see like if someone's foot through a door or a bag or something, you can always just close the door and then press F on the body or the bag to loot like through a door, and that'll help you stay alive a lot longer through fights as well. And something else I want to say is, a lot of newer players, when they kill somebody like right here, you see how in the open this is? I can get peeked from here, from here, from there, from there, from there, from there, from there. Like, you get the point, right? Just all around, I can get peeked from everywhere. So, like, sitting here, crouching or proning to loot a body is so bad. What I recommend is, if you ever kill somebody here, like, literally just drop your bag behind a wall, run up here, you're going to take the bag, and you're going to just run behind the wall, and now figure out this whole looting thing. What do I want? What don't I want? Search the bag behind the wall. And same thing, like if they have armor and guns and a rig, you can clear out the whole backpack, and then you can run back up, and you can just take all of the armor and the rig and then just run back. So you're only like exposed for a minimal amount of time in the open. Those are great ways to keep yourself alive while looting, because if you die while looting, it most likely is your fault. And that's something you kind of have to get used to in your head, is if you die while looting, it is your fault. Just think of ways to keep yourself out of cover and put yourself in good positions to survive while looting, because it's not always the fact that you're slow at looting, but the fact that you're looting at bad times that'll get you killed. So let's hop into some looting mechanics, and hopefully we can get you guys faster at looting in general. The next thing I want to talk about is looting hotkeys. So a lot of people don't actually use these while looting, and I think they're very important to help you loot faster. So if you didn't know, if you want to equip anything to a free slot, whether that's face cover or, you know, eyes, anything on this part of the body, pretty much anything you wear, right? So a backpack, a rig, headphones, armor, gun, all you have to do is press Alt plus left click, and it'll equip it to a free slot. Now you see if both my gun slots are full and I try to equip this gun, it'll say I have no free slot for item, but I can do the respirator, no problem. I can drop my headphones and do that as well. The next thing that I think is really important is you want to have, you want to use control plus left click. So if I want to grab these grenades, instead of dragging over 1, 2, 3, instead what you can do is use control plus left click to go 1, 2, 3, and you have them all equipped on your character. They go into a free slot. So Alt plus left click equips gear to your character in a free slot. Control plus left click will put items into like free storage slots. So like backpacks or rigs. And the last thing that's really important to have is a discard key. So by default, the delete key lets you discard items. When you press delete, you can discard anything you want. I don't have mine bound. I changed mine to a mouse button. So while I'm looting, if I want to clear out this whole rig, all I have to do is just go through and I can just discard. Now, a reason this is very important is because while you're actually searching a body, right? While you're searching a body, when you're searching, you actually can't right-click. So you can't right-click the discard while searching. So having a discard key means I can discard while I'm searching. So I can make room, like, preemptively while I'm searching, like, looking for something. So it's really important to be using those hotkeys. Again, it's Alt plus left-click for equip an item. It's Control plus left-click to move an item to your free slot in your backpack or your rig. And then it is the delete key, or rebind it to any key you want, to discard an item. I would recommend using either a mouse button. You can use 6 or maybe U, like anything where it's like easy to reach from your left hand on the keyboard while it's normally like there is good to use. I want to talk about bag stacking. A lot of new players struggle with this concept, and I think it's very important to learn how to stack bags and how to manage it, because it lets you get a lot more rubles, achieving one of two goals. One is you can either bring out a ton of backpacks and then you don't have to spend as much money buying them, or option 2 is it allows you to effectively make more space in your backpack. I'll talk about this in a minute, but to manage stacked backpacks, all you have to do is, let's say I wanted to get into the last backpack I have, you have to just spam left click all the way through all of my backpacks, and then I'll get to where it is. So whenever you want to do it, you just left click through all of it until you get there. Now, if I have a situation where I have an attack 2 and a pilgrim, they both hold the same amount of space, 35 slots, but I can stack them like this. I can put the pilgrim inside of the attack 2 or vice versa. Now, you can't stack 2 of the same bags if they're a big backpack. So I can't put an attack 2 inside of an attack 2, and I can't put a beta inside of a beta. I can't put a trizip inside of a trizip. I can only stack different bags until you get to smaller backpacks like the Burr Kit or the Day Pack or the Scav bag. You can infinitely stack these on your person. In your stash, you can stack as many bags as you want, but you can't put them on your person if there's 2 of the same bag in the stack. So I can put 2 attack 2s inside of each other in my stash, just not on my person in a raid. So that is the concept of stacking bags. Now, you can do things like using stacked backpacks to make more room. So effectively, if I put on this pilgrim, the beta 2 acts as like a mini items case. It kind of lets me stack more items than I normally would stack. So if I take everything out of the beta, you notice how I actually have all these slots I can't fill. Like, all of this was in the beta, and the beta can actually fit inside of the pilgrim, and all of this fits. But Well, why is that? Why does that happen? Well, the beta is actually smaller than what it holds. So the beta only takes up a 5x5, which is 25 slots, and it holds 30. So effectively, you get a free row of space whenever you use the beta. So it allows you to do things like you can fit a gun down here. So I can throw just a gun if I want in the bottom of my pilgrim while I have this beta 2 filled up with loot. So it allows you to get more room. Now you can do this with a beta 2 inside of a pilgrim, or you can do the same thing with a beta 2 inside of a trizip, because a trizip and a beta 2 are the exact same size. It's 30 slots in a trizip, 30 in a beta, but the beta takes up less slots than a trizip, so I can get an extra 5 slots, and that lets me hold more loot. Now, you can also do this with raid bags and takedown bags, and I'll show you that in the stash right now. So something else you can do with bag stacking is using takedown bags instead of long backpacks. So if you see a takedown bag holds 24 slots, and what it lets me do is effectively stack 2 rigs vertically and an attack 2 or a pilgrim. So if you see I line it up side by side with the rows, I get an extra 3 slots like this. So it lets me put like a long gun here or something else. It gives me more room. A beta 2 gives you the most room in a attack 2 or a pilgrim, but if you do a takedown, and you also get some more room, because if you see if I put the rigs like this in the backpack, I can't stack them vertically, so I lose some slots like this, but I can use the takedown to do it here. You can also do this inside of a blackjack, where same thing in a blackjack, you can't stack rigs vertically. You can only fit 3 rigs here, right? But if somehow you were able to manage to get 2 takedowns and fill them up, which you can get easily on labs for raiders, you can actually fit 4 rigs vertically inside of a blackjack, effectively giving you more room. You can even do this inside of a raid bag, where you can stack the takedown bags, because you can already fit them vertically like this, right? You can already fit them vertically like this, but you get an extra slot because the takedown bag is smaller than what it holds, right? So I get an extra row here while still stacking 4 rigs vertically. So it allows you to get more room while doing this, and even using rigs to get even more room while stacking that as well. And notice how you can also stack bags like this, where I have an attack 2 with a blackjack and then a raid bag. So effectively I can stack 3 big bags like this. This doesn't give me more room, but in a raid, if I had an attack 2 and I killed the guy with the blackjack, I can put that in my backpack. And then same thing with a raid bag, I can put that in my blackjack, and you can just keep stacking them like that. If I had a pilgrim, I can even put the attack 2 in the pilgrim like that, and now I have 4 backpacks I can pull out of that raid. So stacking bags is a really important concept, and understanding, like, you have to be proficient going through the stack of bags, but once you get the hang of it, it's a really important skill to help you loot better. So bag stacking is very important, but so is using rigs to make more space. So things like TB110s or Black Rocks, LBT rigs, MPPV rigs, there's so many rigs in this game that actually take up less space than they hold, which is great for us because we can use that to our advantage to hold more loot inside of our backpacks. So a Black Rock, for example, holds 20 slots, and it only takes up 12 slots. Same thing with the TB110. It only takes up 12 slots, and it holds 23. So effectively, I can fill up this entire TV rig with grenades, right? You see my backpack was absolutely full, but I can fill up this whole thing with grenades, and look at how much room this saves. This gives me 11 extra slots, which is massive, and I can do the same thing with this Black Rock, where I can fill this thing up with even more stuff, and now effectively I'm saving all this room inside of my backpack because I'm using these rigs to help make more space. There are so many rigs, and if you ever want to figure out if a rig will work or not, all you have to do is inspect the rig and look at the container size, and then look at how many slots it takes up. So this is 3x4, so it's 12, and 23 is bigger than 12. Same thing with this. This is 20, and 20 is bigger than 12. So you can use so many rigs for this. You can use it to, like, hold helmets and stuff. So I can put helmets in these 2 slotters. I know I can put headphones in there if I want to take out headphones. It lets you effectively make so much more room in your backpack, and it's a skill a lot of newer players don't utilize, but definitely make sure you do it, and always make sure the rig is bigger than the slots it takes up, because some rigs are like massive but only hold like 8 slots, and it's not worth actually using them for that. So definitely check that out, and I hope that helps you guys make more loot in your raids. So talking about looting tips, I think a big problem a lot of people make when they get on a body is the first thing you should always do is search something. So whether it's a backpack or pockets or a rig, always start searching something before you take someone's gun, because people will like start looking at the armor and the guns and then start searching. But like, you can start searching a backpack and then look at a gun, and then searching pockets and keep looking at the gun, and move stuff around while you're searching, because searching like takes a fixed amount of time and it has to be done. So like, you might as well start searching while you're like picking away at their gun and their armor. It's also important to make sure that when you are looting, like, guns themselves aren't typically worth that much money. Now, putting a gun on your back is always worth it, right? Take this and drag a gun to your free slot so you can carry that out, because it's free storage that's going to get wasted otherwise. But let's say I had a gun on my back already, and this guy had this gun. I'm not going to, like, waste all my inventory space taking an extra gun. So what I would do is get on this body, and I would start searching, and while I'm searching, I would rip off the attachments while I'm searching, and I'd keep searching the whole time while I'm parting out the gun so I can take the expensive parts, and while I'm doing that, my searching happens. It kind of lets you save a lot of time, and again, I can use looting hotkeys to drag stuff over that I want, or if I didn't want to take this rig to stack, I could, you know, drop all the stuff out of it with my discard keys like that, and then I could drag it over and then use it, you know? These are things that are very important to do, so I think making sure that you are always searching the second you get on a body, because people waste a lot of time by searching last, and then also, like, making sure you're parting guns, or you're also, like, while you're searching, you can check the ammo in a mag. So, like, if you know what ammo looks like from looking at the top of the mag, it's very helpful to, like, look at a mag and see what's in here while you're searching, because you can do that and then say, okay, I don't need this ammo, or I do want this ammo, and then I can start unloading mags, or I could take the mags themselves, right? But like with the black tip, I know it's 5FA1 or 995. You can, you know, start learning how to do this by looking at the mags while you're searching. It makes it so much faster. But hopefully that is helpful. These are like kind of things that like really help you get better at looting, is like always make sure you're searching and then part the guns while you're doing that. That should really help you a lot while looting. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in this video is what I call pre-looting. So a lot of times people walk around with their backpack looking like this, and this really bothers me. Because if you kill a player and you want to loot them, you have no room for their armor or their rig or anything, right? You can't fit anything. So what I call pre-looting is before you even get to a body, or like get to like where you want to loot something, like filling up all these slots in your rigs or pockets, right? So like I'd put my U-latch, put a U-latch here. Let's say I had a helmet on already, but like put a U-latch here, put this here, you know, move the alt in here, move some grenades around, right? Leave enough slots for obviously like a mags. When I reload, I don't drop my mags. If you have no slots in your rig, you'll drop the mag in your reload. So definitely like don't drop mags. But like now if I kill a guy with a TB110 or a hex grid, I can just instantly put it in my backpack. I don't have to get on the body and then make room. That's how you die. Like being on a body too long, trying to make decisions like while you're on the body gets you killed. Like make this room ahead of time. Like if you have like 4 slotters, put them in the 4 slotters, 2 slots in the 2 slots, 1 slots in the 1 slots. Like do this ahead of time, because this will save your life and help you loot so much faster. So like every once in a while when I'm looting, like I'll just sit behind cover real quick and just go, okay, this here, that there, and then like my backpack's full, so when I get into a fight and I kill someone, like I have room and I can instantly start dropping stuff. And like if I have to make room for, let's say like a Ford armor, if I wanted something like that, I could just instantly drop 4 grenades and then I have room for it now. I don't have to like move this all around my rigs and like try and jumble room, you know. I can just instantly grab something like right away that I need, and this helps you so much in the long run. I see a lot of people that they don't do this, and it takes them forever to loot because they're on a body and they're like, I gotta put this nade here and this nade here, and just do it ahead of time. Do it before you even get there. It'll save you so much in the long run. I hope this guide was helpful to anyone new or experienced. If you have more questions, drop them down below. We're gonna be making a lot more guides whether it be labs guides or gameplay guides in general. If this helped you out, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. And again, more guides are to come. Hit that sub button and check out the stream as well. Link down in the description, guys. I appreciate it. Hope enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and hope this helped.